Right now on NBC 26 Live at 10, In the Line of Duty. It's an NBC 26 exclusive interview. Hear from the officer whose life changed in an instant, injured on the job.
And shots fired, the latest on the investigation. Appleton police looking for answers after reports of a gunfire at a home with children inside.
And May Day demonstrations. Thousands take to the streets marching to protest the Trump administration's immigration policies. It is an NBC 26 exclusive. A former police officer from Grand Chute recounts a traumatic event in the line of duty. It was an incident forcing him into early retirement, but it could have ended his life. NBC 26's Shara Taylor has this one-on-one interview you'll only see here on NBC 26.
Retired police lieutenant and supervisor Todd Zolkowski was pinned in a car door and dragged by a shoplifting suspect. Nearly 1 year later, his injuries are still evident as he struggles every day to live a normal life.
He started squealing backwards and I was hanging on. Got dragged for a short distance and then I got pulled underneath the driver's door.
In just 13 seconds, this former officer's life changed forever.
This obviously was a huge impact because it very much limited what I could do every day. This is in 1991.
As 51-year-old Todd Zolkowski looks back on his 30-year career through the pages of this scrapbook, his numerous accolades, including Wisconsin's Officer of the Year, bring a smile to his face.
That's a picture of me up on top of the ladder and I'm holding them up.
He planned to retire on his own terms in a couple of years. But a suspicious person call last July will change all that.
I think I just got in duty for a 4 p to 4 a.m. shift. We got an attempt to locate for a vehicle that was involved in a retail theft. And when they ran the plate number, it came back stolen.
That evening, Zolkowski was called to assist an officer at Pawn America in Grand Chute. Zolkowski says after fingerprinting the theft suspect, later identified as Michael Lorenz, Lorenz jumped into a squad car and sped off.
I had him by his head in his neck area. I was trying to pull him out and I was yelling at him. I could see him playing with the shift lever. And when he's playing with the shift lever, he's trying to get it in reverse. And finally he did get it in reverse.
Zolkowski was trapped.
My head and the neck area and actually the shoulder got caught in the door and ripped back. So I went down on the ground.
Zolkowski says other officers fired 20 gunshots. Michael Lorenz was hit by a bullet, but it wasn't enough to stop him from taking off, later carjacking a woman's car and leading police on a high-speed chase into Brown County. Lorenz was sentenced in February to 12.5 years behind bars.
I'd like to apologize to the officers that were involved. I'm sorry that I put you in the danger that I did. It should have never happened. I'm going to spend every day of my life regretting that I did that.
For Zolkowski and his family, life will never be the same.
My children, they were at a social event that night and they got through social media and a phone call. They got a call saying, "Dad's been shot, go to the hospital."
Thankfully, Zolkowski didn't get shot, but he did suffer injuries to his neck, shoulder, and back during the Pawn America incident. He's undergone surgery and is going through physical therapy. The activities he loved, like golfing, now nearly impossible.
It's not the way I wanted to, obviously, to end my career.
Zolkowski says after his injuries forced him into an early retirement, he misses his coworkers and serving the community.
I didn't know how I was going to feel about it at first, with knowing that this is it. You're done after 30 years. That's all you've done is law enforcement. And so it was hard at first.
He's focusing on moving forward, keeping the memories he made on the force close to his heart, and remembering all the lives he touched during a career that ended too soon. Lieutenant Zolkowski says he looks forward to hopefully recovering and spending time with his first grandchild, expected to arrive next month. Shara Taylor, NBC 26.
Zolkowski is also proud his son followed in his footsteps, serving as a deputy with the Allegheny County Sheriff's Department.
A man is in custody after a 3.5-hour standoff in Two Rivers. Police called to an apartment on the 1100 block of Adams Street. This was around 10 yesterday morning for a domestic situation. They say a woman and her infant did escape when police tried contacting her boyfriend. They say he threatened to shoot the officers. The Manitowoc County Emergency Response Team and negotiators were called to the scene. That suspect is in custody and in jail tonight.
Police in Appleton are investigating gunshots fired early yesterday morning on Clark Street. NBC 26's Regina Ahn is in the Green Bay newsroom with what we know tonight.
Police were able to track multiple shots fired early Sunday morning on the 1600 block of North Clark Street. Around 4 in the morning Sunday, reports of multiple shots inside and outside a residence was reported. There were at least 4 children in the home. Appleton police are trying to get as much information to locate whoever is responsible for this gunfire.
Still trying to identify everyone that may have been there so that we can confirm that information and to find out what the intent or the motive behind the gunfire was.
Lund says there were no apparent injuries, but it's still an ongoing investigation. Police are working with Child Protection Services regarding the children that were in the home. If you have any information, call the Appleton Police Department. Reporting in the newsroom, keeping you connected. Regina Ahn, NBC 26.
A stabbing suspect claiming to be Jesus Christ ordered to undergo a competency exam in Wapaka County. According to the criminal complaint, 22-year-old Brady DeCamp allegedly pulled a knife and held it to the throat of a 26-year-old man, sending him to the hospital requiring stitches. DeCamp has 15 days to submit to a competency hearing.
2 men pulled from Lake Michigan after their kayaks capsized have been identified. 29-year-old Matthew Allen Tuffarner of Sturgeon Bay and 21-year-old Dylan Tyler Dorr of Clintonville died after their kayaks turned over near Cave Point County Parks in Sevastopol. Dorr was on home leave from the Marine Corps. Neither of those men were wearing life jackets. The man killed in a crash in the town of Belle Plaine in Shawano County identified today. Investigators say 38-year-old Mark Kazenbach was rear-ended on Highway 29 near Highway 22 on Saturday morning. No word yet on any charges against the 39-year-old Manitowoc man who hit.
Well, it is the first day of May, but we can't seem to shake off those April showers just yet.
Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Cameron Moreland for your first forecast.
So you're saying those April showers have overstayed their welcome. I guess they're now May showers because we've got wet weather across east central and northeast Wisconsin. But off to the north and west, it's more than just wet weather. We've also got some snow. It is now snowing in the northwestern part of the state. You can see right now it's 35 degrees in Hayward with some light snow. And you're probably sitting at home going, why is Cameron talking about snow again? Well, because tomorrow morning, as some cold air wraps in behind this system, there will be the chance for a couple of rain and or snow showers across the area. Not all of us will see it, but there's that chance. Temperatures will be in the upper 30s. By the final bell, look for gusty winds, lower 50s, and mostly cloudy skies. Cassandra, Bo?
Thanks, Cameron. Well, on Capitol Hill today, lawmakers juggling 2 major bills and working toward a vote by both by the end of the week.
While both sides have agreed on a budget, Republicans are hoping to find enough votes to pass a bill to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. NBC's Blaine Alexander has more from Washington.
On Capitol Hill, it's a budget deal. Lawmakers overnight agreeing to a $1.2 trillion spending plan to keep the government funded through the end of September.
This is a down payment on border security. It's a down payment on his ability to rebuild the military.
The budget also includes a $25 billion increase in military spending, a win for the president, but also some losses, $1.5 billion for border security, half of what he requested, with no money for the wall. And the National Institutes of Health get a big boost that the president did not want.
We couldn't have our entire way on this.
On health care, Republicans predicting a possible vote this week.
There will not be a vote unless there are 216 votes for it. The worst thing that you could do is put up a bill and then watch it be defeated.
A major sticking point, coverage for pre-existing conditions. The president telling CBS News.
Pre-existing conditions are in the bill. And I mandated, I said it has to be.
But that mandate is not in the current bill, which allows states to opt out, a possible return to insurance practices before Obamacare.
Essentially charge deterrent pricing, extremely high rates, 3, 4, 5 times what the normal rate would be.
Today, the White House says it feels good about the bill's direction. Blaine Alexander, NBC News, Washington.
Across the country and the world today, thousands gathered for May Day marches. May Day, also known as International Workers' Day, usually sparks demonstrations over labor issues. Here at home, people hit the streets from Los Angeles to New York, chanting about everything from President Trump's policies to illegal immigration issues to raising the minimum wage. And thousands of immigrant supporters traveled from across the state today to downtown Milwaukee, where the county sheriff has gone on record there supporting a new method of policing undocumented immigrants. NBC 26's Eric Kress spoke with those demonstrators about why they march.
May Day, also known as International Workers' Day, is known on the global front as a day to rally for workers' rights. Workers' rights for everyone.
We have a protest today and we're going to go to Milwaukee for our Hispanic community to raise our voice.
From Green Bay to Madison to Racine, immigrant supporters jumped on buses bound for Milwaukee to protest the potential of Milwaukee County Sheriff deputies having the right to enforce federal immigration laws.
Only reason that we're here is to work and that we're not here to steal and to be criminals.
The protesters rallied by the thousands, asking for the governor to remove Sheriff David Clark from office. Sheriff Clark has gone on record stating his support in allowing deputies to act as immigration officers, something traditionally only reserved for federal employees.
I think we're going to get something good out of it. So
Estamos llenos de energía.
We're full of energy and we're all happy.
And while deputies do not have the responsibility of serving as immigration officers today in Milwaukee County, many of these protesters are hopeful they won't get the right down the road. With NBC 26, I'm Eric Kress.
A major concern of those at the rally is fear law enforcement will start racially profiling Hispanic people as part of the crackdown on illegal immigration.
Lawmakers are one step closer to finding a solution to fund Wisconsin's roads. Representative John Nygren says Governor Scott Walker has been briefed on the plan, which calls for nearly $300 million in tax and fee increases to pay for road projects. Now, Governor Walker has yet to commit to the proposal. State lawmakers are set to vote on nearly a dozen bills designed to combat opioid addiction. The bills are based on recommendations from Governor Walker's opioid task force. Some of the bills call for expanded treatment programs, a high school for addicted students, and training more doctors in addiction treatment.
Well, with all the rain that we've been getting in northeast Wisconsin, the rivers are rising. Coming up, a warning on some rivers that are approaching that flood stage.
And a year after their prom ended in a tragic shooting, a report from Antigo and this year's prom.
You're connected.